hustle on a mission. Grinding for that spot, a brand new pot to piss in. Trying to school my partners, I don't think they pay attention. I'm sticking to my vision, on the road to the riches. Every single day, I'm a hustle on a mission. Trying to get 100 M's, nigga, I ain't kidding. I'm on a mission, 24/7, 365, until I reach the heavens.
For sure, man. Welcome back to the Lit House again. I am Capital, Mr. Create a Positive Impact today and later. This is Home Meat TV. Hustlers on a mission every day. Sponsored by dividendsapparel.com. The site is down. Don't be worried. It'll be back soon. And this is another RNR moment. Get you some rest and relaxation right here. You know what I'm saying? On Home Meat TV in the Lit House. With a real nigga reaction. And never forget, real niggas do what they want to do. And I'm trying to wait a couple minutes because they like the trip. But we just going to get right into it, man. Real nigga reaction, R&R moment. These motherfuckers. Well, this motherfucker. This motherfucker. There's news about him lying yet again on the family. And it's like, at a certain point, you have to start to think like, yeah, you're getting paid from your channel. But are you actually being paid for the narratives that you spill against the people of your own ethnicity? I was gonna say kind, but I don't know if he is of our kind at all. You know? So we're just gonna get into it, man. This is a real nigga reaction. Real niggas do what they want to do. Bitch niggas do what they can. Hoe ass niggas gonna talk about it. And fuck niggas gonna hate regardless. I promise you that. So do your shit to the motherfucking fullest, nigga. I don't give a fuck what they think, and you shouldn't either. Stay on your motherfucking mission. And with that being said, let's get into this reaction. I need to find me some positive shit to react to. I think I'm gonna react to some Damon Darling after this. All this negative racism and race shit and the death of our children, bro, the death of the kids, bro, for unnecessary bullshit. Authorities trying to cover it up. All this shit just has me drained, man. It's like it's like people really think we dumb. Like these people really expect us to be ignorant to their bullshit and just let it go. And just let them get away with shit. That's what they expect. That's what they hoping for. That's exactly what all of them hoping for. And it ain't gonna happen, bitch. It ain't gonna motherfucking happen. So let's get into the video with Flacco. Officer Tatum exposed again for lying on Nolan Wells and his family. He's really a disgrace. Like,
again, the audio that
God forbid he ever has to go through any type of situation that he shitted on niggas.
y'all are like hearing from me is different. I increased my gain by 5. So it's dramatically louder than whatever Tatum is currently playing, and whatever he's hearing. So you know Tatum can't even hear the audio because Tatum is still where the parts already came and went, right? The audio already came. Officer Tatum spent all of yesterday telling us the audio was fake, the Nolan Wells audio was fake, and we're making it up. And then as soon as TMZ confirmed, no, the audio is real, Tatum took his tap dancing behind to that computer and loaded up that live stream and proceeded to run narratives and tried to debunk and lie about an audio that he once claimed was fake. Now he's acknowledging the audio is real. Now he's trying to tell us that we ain't hear what we heard. So here is Officer Tatum trying to run PR and narrative and try to make us believe that we ain't hear what we heard. Let's go.
No, it's full of crap. And before we get to any of that, are we going to talk about all that? Before we get to all of that, we're going to talk about new updates in the Nolan Wells case, the phone call that everybody been asking me to review. I've had an opportunity to review it as much as I can. I had some contact from the family, and also TMZ did an incredible job at explaining what that really was all about. We'll get to it.
Bro, we just heard the explanation from TMZ. Did TMZ do, after what we just watched, did TMZ do an incredible job? Or did TMZ acknowledge that they heard exactly what we heard? Oh my God, Nolan, no, Nolan, no, Nolan, no, he's dead. But TMZ says we should not listen to our ears. Maybe we're just hearing it wrong. We hear a thing wrong because y'all heard the same thing we heard. Now, here is Tatum acknowledging that the audio is real, but he's gonna try to, in real time, make you believe that you're not hearing what you're hearing.
Do it on the Officer Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit.
It's just-
Americans.
If you're just starting, just go and check it out. See if it's something you're interested in. I'm going to say more in a written form. Bugging my team. Let's get into this. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody was saying, B. Tatum, what do you think about the audio? What do you think about the audio? What do you think about this newfound audio? First and foremost, and I may have alluded to this before we went to the weekend, but when I first heard it, I turned the volume up as loud as I could, and I didn't hear none of that stuff they were saying. And then
I bet you, hey Tatum, I bet you would hear it. Listen, I bet you're the only person in America who ain't hear that audio. I bet, right?
The only
I bet
person.
you ain't hear.
I seen a white lady speak on it. I seen a white lady speak on this shit. Like a white lady that you would not think is on our side. I guess it would be like that, right? A nigga you wouldn't think that would be on their side.
Hear it, right? But I thought it was fake though. I thought it was AI. Now as you can hear it, okay, bet.
First and foremost, and I may have alluded to this before we went to the weekend, but when I first heard it, I turned the volume up as loud as I could. I didn't hear none of that stuff they were saying. And then I know the context around when the call occurred, and therefore I perceived, based on the knowledge that I have, the witness testimony, and also looking into it myself, that the conversation that they said couldn't have happened. And it doesn't make sense that it had happened because obviously Nolan was not on the boat during this situation.
This nigga's talking about the knowledge that he has. If you go based off of the knowledge that he has on all this shit, then you could safely assume he's a dumbass motherfucker.
And if he was on the boat during this situation, and there was
and he chooses to be,
everybody and their mama,
and he chooses to be, so that makes him ignorant. That makes him a little ignorant ass nigga. Because the fact that he chooses to overlook, it's just preposterous. It's bonkers. It's like I have to use those type of words.
They don't explain the audio. They just do not. They see. We got to start being as bad faith as these people.
It's preposterous or bonkers.
Right? Our downside, yo. Look, I'm about to make somebody a mod. Y'all boot Mark Oliver from the chat if he's being disruptive. See, their strategy is to just deny. Trump is really great at this, right? Trump was asked, hey, President Trump, did you arrange for Andrew Tate to leave Romania and come to America? Nah, I don't know. What? Oh, really? Man, he's here? I know nothing about it. And come to find out, Trump and his administration literally called Romania, let them know, Yo, they want Tate in America. And for Romania to uplift Tate's travel ban, right? But Trump denied it in real time. I don't know what's going on. So now the new strategy is to just deny. That's their strategy. Just deny it all. Deny it completely. But we're not letting you guys do it. We're not letting you guys get away with this, man. No. Under no circumstances, bro. You're gonna be forced. You're gonna be forced to acknowledge this audio, bro. You're gonna be forced to acknowledge that we're not letting you guys get away with it. We're not answering any other questions y'all have from us. Because whenever we have a question for y'all, is always, what? We don't know. That never happened. Nah. Millions of people heard that same audio, and millions of people said, we heard this too. So just because a few tap dancers ain't hear it and a few white supremacists ain't hear it does not mean y'all about to get to skate by and then quickly pivot the conversation. You peep how they get our evidence for wrongdoing and foul play. Then they quickly pivot from, nah, that's not true. And then they quickly pivot to, how about this? We're not addressing whatever type of skill out of context photos or whatever you guys, we're not addressing that. Address the audio first. Address why they were saying, oh my God, Nolan. Address why they were saying he's dead. Address why they were saying, get up. Address why bro refused to answer the question when she asked, are there any, is everybody alive on the boat? Are there any alive adults on the boat? Answer that. Answer that.
Right there at Horn, Nolan was not on the boat during this situation. And if he was on a boat during this situation and there was an altercation that happened, everybody and their mama would have seen it because they're right there at Horn Island.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. The what ifs, right? We played what ifs with y'all for the last 2 weeks. We played what ifs with y'all. That audio has released, bruh. We not playing what ifs no more with y'all, bruh. We not playing what ifs with y'all. I understand the what ifs. We not playing the what ifs with y'all, bruh. Sorry.
It's a what is.
We not doing the, why would that audio say that if the audio said it? So now I'll explain why it said it. Why would the audio say this if they were, the audio did say it. So you explain why the audio said it. Sorry. We're not doing the what ifs. It's not happening. We're not doing it.
And thousands of people would have seen it because they're right there at Horn Island with 100 boats and thousands of people right there. But because people have a vested interest and confirmation bias, that no matter if Jesus Christ of Nazareth came out of the sky and said, these boys had nothing to do with Nolan's death, people will reject Christ Jesus and stop believing in it because they're invested in believing these kids must have done it something. Now, I'm not saying if they did or didn't. I'm saying the evidence is showing that they were nowhere near Nolan when his life was taken. Whether it's a drink.
What evidence is he referring to? What is the evidence that he has viewed and knows specifically without a shadow of a doubt? Because that's how he is speaking. He's talking as if he knows beyond a shadow of a doubt, which would imply that he knows some shit that the police should know. If that's the case, but that's not the truth. And if that was the truth, we're not playing with us like Flacco said.
Drowning or whether somebody killed him, these kids.
How he has softened up his stance, people. Yo, to understand this, how he has softened up his stance, that right there that's the tell-all sign you need. Bro, we put in belt to butt.
Dastardly.
We have not softened our stance not once. We haven't gone from, oh my God, Nolan Walls was murdered to, oh my God, Nolan Walls accidentally drowned. We haven't softened our stance not once. From day one, something nefarious and bad happened to Nolan Wells.
Facts.
Somebody did something to Nolan. We haven't softened our stance. As a matter of fact, every piece of evidence that have came out have only made our assertions stronger. Every single piece of evidence that have came out, every explanation of what happened that have came out have only made our confidence grow in our beliefs. But when it comes to the other side, when it comes to the white supremacists and Officer Tatum, how come y'all continue to soften y'all stance? It went from, man, there's nothing here. There's nothing that shows foul play. There's nothing that shows foul play. What are you talking about? It's gone from there's nothing that shows foul play to, man, listen, man, I'm not saying they didn't kill him. I'm just saying these white folks, they didn't kill him. Huh? Oh, that's how far y'all have gotten pushed back? The bill got y'all pushing back that much? It's gone from there's nothing here that's a just foul play to I'm not saying he wasn't killed or something. No, I'm saying these good white folks didn't kill him. He had black friends on the island too. He had some black folks on the island too. What y'all mean though? No.
Yeah, he definitely tried to put it on some niggas.
You know the raccoon chip is activated.
That's just like a fuck nigga too. And he damn sure tried to insinuate that it could have been some niggas that did it to him, because the one half a nigga that was on his interview expressed how he got in the altercation. But my thing is, why didn't you question who the fuck his altercation was with? And why the fuck why would he ever had to leave? He said it was somebody else, somebody did whatever. Either way, what's the person's name? It was a lot of unanswered questions in the interview. There was a lot of unasked questions in the interview that definitely should have been asked. If you're really trying to get down to the truth or whatever the fuck it was. But niggas really ain't trying to get to the truth. They really trying to make shit look a certain type of way. That's really it. They really just trying to make shit look a certain type of way, bro. And it's fucked up. Shit fucked up.
And when you see this, come on, bruh. Come on. This right here is how you know the raccoon chip has been activated. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. When you see this, listen, go to any one of Officer Tatum's videos, okay? Go to any one of Officer Tatum's videos. I ain't lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. This is how you know the raccoon chip has officially been activated.
Shout out to Flacco, man. That nigga funny, man. Look at this nigga though, bro. He really putting on.
When you see him do this, it's just like a raccoon. It's just like a raccoon. Yo, listen, bro. Have you seen a raccoon jump? Look, watch this, man. Raccoons, come on, bro. Fam, come on, son. Come on, son. You can't tell me. Come on, son. Hey, bro, you can't tell me. Hey, come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. You can't, listen, man. You can't tell me the raccoon chip has not activated at this point right here, man. This brother is working, okay? This brother said y'all would not blame these good white folks, man. Y'all would not, under no circumstances, blame these good white folks on my watch. Not on my watch. Y'all would not blame these good white folks who have done all these good white things. Y'all would not blame these good white folks on my watch. Under no circumstances. I was like,
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
man, this brother is activated. Now, he's in full action right now, man. Sir, relax, man. Brother, black man to black man, bro, you don't have to do this, sir. Black man to black man, Tatum, you do not have to do this, man. There's enough money in the world, bro, where you can come online, man, and simply do your content. You don't got to do this, man.
Facts, you definitely.
This is nasty work, bro.
Enough money out here.
How about we focused on other leads so we can figure out what happened. Because somebody may have been involved in it.
And now he backpedaling. Now he backpedaling, bro. Listen, the backpedal started during the Stephen A. Smith debate. See, before that Stephen A. Smith debate, when Tatum was in the comfort of his den where the raccoons reside, when he was in the comfort of his den, he was spewing the white supremacist talking points. But when he encountered a brother who's intelligent, a brother who knew the facts, a brother who refused to allow him to lie on Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump. He says that Al Sharpton said the white kids murdered Nolan Wells. The brother put up the receipts, had Tatum tap dancing. But he may not have said it outright. He may have us Then after that debate, after he got cooked to high heavens, y'all watched the debate. We watched it together. It was raccoon meat on the grill. We watched it together. The raccoon meat was on the grill. I'm not lying. Y'all watched it in real time. Once the raccoon meat went on the grill, now Tatum all of a sudden there was 4 to 5 black folks on the island, so how can we say the white folks did it, the black folks, man? Tatum, really, bruh? Even when there's a fourth of a 1%, even when there's a fourth of a 1%, y'all still want to blame black man? Black folks ain't got nothing to do with this, bruh.
Not a motherfucking
A black man
thing,
ain't murdered
bitch.
Nolan Wells, man. Y'all cut it out, bruh. But now his stance have went from, man, there's no evidence for anything nefarious. Now let's chase these other clues over here. What? I thought there was no clues. I thought there was no evidence. I thought there was no suspects. I thought Nolan Wells accidentally drowned. I thought that was what it was, huh? Now y'all backpedaling. There's only one side that have not backpedaled, not once. We ain't backpedaled. We've been called race hustlers and rape grifters and liars from day one. We ain't backpedaled an inch. We ain't take an inch. And we've been called race hustlers and grifters from day one. We ain't backpedaled not an inch. Not once. But they do it backpedaling. Why? It's because the facts don't support their theory. Every single detail that has came out do not support their theory at all. Not one bit.
We're looking in the wrong direction. More than likely, nobody was involved in it, but we shall see. All right, let's get to the TMZ debunking the audio that was put out and people doing enhancements. We got a whole segment here. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to go methodically through each individual step. We're going to play TMZ's thing. We're going to play the enhanced audio. We're going to play the woman who enhanced the audio. And then we're going to listen to the full audio. Us. So y'all can hear exactly what is being said in its entirety. Full context. And I promise you, it's going to shock you that some of the things that's said on there, you got to wonder, the people that's highlighting certain moments, why didn't they put the rest of it in there? Why did they copy and paste these segments? You will find out here shortly. Here's the TMZ, a new update from TMZ. The young lady is reporting on it. Roll it.
Here with another development in the Nolan Wells case, TMZ has learned evidence apparently shows Nolan Wells was still on Horn Island after his friend's boat left.
Yo, listen to this as well. Yo, listen to this, yo. Yo, do y'all peep, yo, how it's always the evidence show. And the evidence, when you read the fine print, because I read exactly what this article says, by the way. I read the entire article. I went through everything. At the very bottom, after saying the evidence, I said, okay, what's the evidence? Somebody told us. I said, cut. I said, cut. I said, yo, you want the eye, man? Really? Really? Come on, bro. Really? Really? So again, when y'all hear, all right, when y'all hear, when y'all hear evidence, understand the evidence.
Because we also have evidence of somebody telling us that he left with his friends. And it's the person that he was with before he left with his friends.
Evidence is one individual told TMZ that they seen Nolan Wells on the island. That's it. But here's the thing. That's not new. Okay? All right?
That's the narrative.
We are taking a combination. right? A combination of everybody's statements. Nolan Wells' friends, Katie, we're taking everything into consideration. And what I'm telling you is, after everything, is too many contradictions going on. Nolan Wells' friend says,
For sure.
hey, we left him on the island when he was cradled up with Katie. Katie says the last time I seen him was when the friends was calling him over, implying he left and went with the friends. So if we have multiple statements saying multiple different things, then how is quote unquote evidence somebody told y'all they seen Nolan on the island? Are you crazy?
They are.
But they will tell you, oh, TMZ is the arbitrator for what's true or not. Us independent media personalities, we ain't ish. TMZ is the arbitrator for what's fair and what's not fair. But us independent media personalities, we ain't ish. But look at this nonsense.
Sources
Time out.
with direct knowledge.
We already knew this. Warren and Tristan already said this. But y'all were, not y'all that's listening, y'all smart. I'm talking about your cousin them. They were.
But how would Tristan know where Nolan was, right? How would Tristan know that Nolan was on an island after 4:30 when
If he
Tristan
left
left
before.
the island before anybody? Before you guys,
Right.
'cause again, we're done answering y'all questions. We spent the last 2 weeks debunking, and every time we debunk one lie, y'all come up with another lie.
Facts.
Where we debunk one lie, you'll come with another lie. So how can Tristan tell you that Nolan Wells was on the island past 5 p.m. or at nighttime when Tristan got into a fight, according to Tristan himself and everybody else, and he left the island early before anyone else? So how? And Warren told you that they was calling Nolan over to the boat. Nolan says he's not going, he's not leaving, he's not going, right? And Warren says that Katie will be their alibi, and Katie can confirm. But when Katie confirmed, Katie says the last time I seen Nolan was when y'all was calling him over, implying he went over to the boat and left Katie. Katie says Nolan told her that he was going with his friends. That's what Katie's sister have said. That's what Katie's family has said. That's what Katie have told Nolan's family. So again, even your very quote unquote proof that this happened is debunked because the person who quote unquote can verify this happened is telling us something completely opposite.
Defiant and saying these boys are lying and all this other stuff. And then now TMZ is reporting on it. Maybe you'll listen. Roll it.
Tell TMZ authorities have evidence suggesting Nolan was on the Mississippi Barrier Island after the boat departed on the 4th of July, which would mark a major development in the investigation. We're told at least 2 witnesses interviewed by law enforcement claimed they saw Nolan on the island after the boat headed back to the mainland.
So their evidence are 2 people. Okay, cool. How about the multiple other people? How about Nolan friends who says that they...
And listen, the 2 witnesses that they saying this is from is 2 of the friends that was on the boat. They're not witnesses. They're really suspects.
drove by and they seen them cleaning out the boat the night that Nolan drove by and other people. How about Nolan friends who says that they drove by and they seen them cleaning out the boat the night that Nolan died? How about that? How about that? How about that? Nolan friends who says they seen the boys at lunch and the boys told them they were not out searching for Nolan because y'all already gonna blame them for killing him before he was even found dead. How about that? Do we take the word of those people too? Because my thing is, if we taking the word as for anybody as fact, right? If we're saying anybody who comes forward, their word is law and their word is fact, then boy, we got an entire interview of Nolan friends saying somebody killed Nolan and those people are close by in that community. See, bro, we can play the tit for tat all day. You bring 2, we bring 2. You bring 1, we bring 1. All right? You bring 1 witness, we bring 1 witness. But at the end of the day, all right, We could play the he said, she said game all day. Nolan Friends did a 3-hour interview on TikTok, on YouTube, where they broke down things that completely contradicts this. Completely. 1,000%. All right?
Shout out to them friends.
So now let's get to this next part, man. Where like apparently like he listens to the audio.
Still on Horn Island. Friends had confirmed it. We already confirmed it. We already interviewed Warren.
You ain't
And we
confirmed
already
I got that
interviewed
thing,
Tracy.
Tatum.
They already showed me evidence of this. They already showed me video. They showed me all kinds.
They didn't show you. Fam, listen, yo, Tatum, why do you lie so much? Do you understand that if there was evidence, that if they had videos of Nolan Wells on the island at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m.,
They would have been clear.
that would be public? What are you talking about? What video?
And they would be clear.
What video? What video?
That shit is, they would be clear.
The boat stopped working at 3 p.m. They quote unquote left a little after 4:30 or after 4:30. So there was ruckus and commotion on that boat for about what, an hour and 45 minutes? So if there was commotion on that boat for about an hour and 45 minutes, we not saying they killed him. We not saying they dumped him in the water. I'm just saying whatever photograph you have of them sailing off does not debunk the theory that they may have dumped Nolan Wells in the water after killing him or after something happened to Nolan.
Right.
Maybe again, Nolan passed out. He was unconscious. They panicked. They threw him over. Who knows what it was? We don't know. We don't know the facts. What we're telling you is that everything that have came out so far have hinted towards foul play happening. Somebody killed Nolan. Nolan didn't die from quote unquote accidental drowning. And all the facts that have came out have supported our theory over yours. It's simple as that.
Kinds of stuff that they have already given over to the police department. And so I told you guys, and I'm not saying I told you so or nothing like that. I'm just saying this should give credence to what I'm doing because we already shared this with you guys and TMZ just confirmed it. Can you please stop projecting things into this case that do not exist because you're not doing Nolan any favors. You're just distracting and creating chaos that should have never happened. All right, let's get to the next clip. Now, here's the enhanced audio because I want to go through, and we're going to go in through this whole thing, and we're going to debunk, provide more context, information that most people are not trying to do at all. Now, I listened to this myself, and we got the young lady who claimed to enhance the video. We're going to play her testimony on here. But this is bullcrap. It's bullcrap.
Yo, listen, yo. How when I play the audio, I didn't really need to preface it. I didn't need to contaminate the audio.
Right. Like, why is you talking about the audio before it's even heard? You know what I'm saying? You trying to put your own bias on it before you even play it and all this other shit. Like, and that's what them folks do. It's really, what you call it? Textbook. It's really textbook of brainwashing. It's textbook brainwashing for real. That's really what it is. It's in the books. But you niggas don't know it because you don't be paying attention to the books. You can listen to the books, man. They got audio books, nigga. You don't gotta read. You can listen.
With my bias lens, how all I did was I just played the audio for you guys and y'all heard it. Why is Tatum now trying to contaminate the audio before playing it? Why not just play the audio and let your audience decide what they want to decide?
Facts.
Come on. Huh? Why are you trying to contaminate the evidence with your biased lens? Now watch this, man.
For two reasons. One is that when I listened to the audio, I didn't hear none of this stuff that you see on this thing. None. I didn't hear nothing.
Calm down, bro. Calm down, bro. Calm down, Tatum. Tatum, bro. Tatum, you're doing it again, Tatum. You are doing it again, Tatum. All right? All right? The raccoon chip is activated. The raccoon chip has activated again, Tatum. Tatum, calm down, bro. Calm down, bro. Just play the evidence, man. Why are you activating, man? We just come on, Tatum. Sir, Tatum, stop it, bro. Stop. Tatum, stop it. Stop doing it. This is it. Tatum, go seek help. Right? 1-800, I got the raccoon chip. Okay, 1-800, I got the raccoon chip. Tatum, stop. Right? Stop. You can do better, Tatum. You can do better, Tatum. You don't have to do this. Control yourself, sir. Yo, just the thought of white folks being held accountable, man, got Tatum activated. This is just disgusting. Trifling stuff, man.
Thing of the nature. And then when you have context, you realize none of this could have been said because Nolan was still alive.
What? Man, listen, bro. Play the audio, bro. Play the audio. Play the audio, Tatum. All right? Play the audio, bro.
Now, after they made this phone call, y'all got to stop playing and
Play
just
the
be
audio,
honest
Tatum.
for a change. Roll the clip.
So Tatum, no. Tatum, don't play the in his version. Tatum. Yo, but Tatum, you cold, bro. Tatum, this ain't the enhanced version, man. This ain't the version we played. But you can still listen, bro. You can still listen to the version like this that's not all the way that enhanced. All right? That's not all the way that enhanced. And you could still hear it. Yo, Tatum, I wonder, yo, wait, bro. Hold on, Tatum. Hold on, bro. Tatum, this is some nasty stuff, bro. Tatum, why you ain't slow it down like us? Why you ain't up the volume like us? Why you ain't play the enhanced version that slowed down? Huh? Yo, this is some nasty stuff. This is nasty, bro.
Here, time out. I started over. I want to give you guys a chance to turn your audio up, get into a place where you can hear, freeze this,
Here,
pause
man.
it, or whatever you got to do. Turn your audio up and be honest about what you hear. And do you hear things like, can we?
I just turned up our audio, right? I just turned up our audio as well because Tatum ain't playing the right version.
Cover it up as if they're saying cover up a murder. Yeah, I thought about that. Maybe they're talking about the hole in the boat. What they call the village?
Now, really? Okay. So Tatum goes from, they didn't say, can we cover it up at all? They didn't say that at all. They lying. How you go from, those words were never said, y'all lying, to, nah, man, the words were said, but the words that was said actually meant this. Hold on. I thought okay. So first off, y'all have went from in the last 24 hours to the audio is fake. It's A to, no, the audio is real, but they didn't say what they said. Now, nah, they said it. I heard, can we cover it up? But that just meant something different, man. Y'all, man, bruh. Hey, man, y'all out of control, man. Y'all is out of control, sir.
What you expect from
y'all? Gotta do better, man. Y'all are out of control. This is nasty stuff, Tatum. This is not normal.
Maybe they're talking about the hole in the boat. What they call the village or something like that. Bill's pump. So maybe they're talking about the Bill's pump.
Oh, I bet.
Maybe they're saying to cover that up. But no, y'all gotta say somebody killing somebody in Nolan Wales' death.
Amazing.
Roll it and tell me, do you hear any of these things in the comment section that you see on the screen right here? Roll it.
Amazing. Look at, look at this devious raccoon, man. Look at this. Bro, listen, bro really think that he's smarter than everybody else. Look at this. Look at this devious raccoon. He think he's smart. Listen, bro. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He thinks that playing the wrong audio does not enhance or slow down. Look at him, bro. Look at him. Oh, good white folks, I got y'all. I got you, good white folks. Look at this devious raccoon. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He thinks that he's good. Yo, he thinks he's getting away with it. Tatum thinks he's getting away with it. In his mind, you can't tell him he's not getting away with it right now. You can't tell him he's not fooling y'all right now, bruh. All right? You cannot convince Tatum that he's not fooling y'all right now, bruh. Yo, and the reason why I'm even allowing for his audio to play is because we already watched the full audio before, and on our last live stream, we already went through the full audio. But I'm just playing this so y'all can see how dishonest Tatum is. How dishonest these people are, right? Look at how dishonest he is. Look at this, man. Look, just look.
You ain't gotta play that shit
He's
for me to see
looking
that.
like somebody who believes they're getting away with it. But fam, Tatum, nobody is buying what you're selling. We all already heard the audio. Enhance, slow down. We heard the full audio, right? So you playing the audio, the non-enhanced version, over your Rodecaster audio, which, by the way, all right, Tatum had the option because I also have a Rodecaster. I'm also on Streamlabs OBS. So Tatum had the option on Streamlabs OBS to increase the gain.
Right. Talk
He
that
does
shit.
not increase the gain at all. He does not play the enhanced version that you can really hear it. Tatum plays a version that his audience can barely even hear, but is a part of the plan. This is his plan. Look at him. Look at him. He's getting away with it. Oh, let's wait, pause, bro. Let's see if we could get a different color, man. Wait, pause, bro. Is there any black here? Oh, okay, bet. Let's see if we can get man. Yeah, bro. We gotta. The raccoon chip has activated. Okay, all right. The raccoon chip has activated, sir. Okay, the raccoon chip has activated, sir. Look at all right. All right. Tatum, hey, bro, this is how he feels. Fully activated. All right. The raccoon chip has fully activated within Tatum. Now believes he is getting away with murder, and the white folks will be proud of him. Look at this, man. Tatum, you should be, you should be unpleased with yourself, Tatum. You should be unpleased, bro. Very unpleased, man. Let's get back to this, man.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're stinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. No,
Oh, you ain't hear that either, huh, Tatum? You ain't hear that either, huh, Tatum? Yo, but Tatum, bro, Tatum's so dumb. And here's how you know too, right? And here's how, right, that the audio is, again, the audio that y'all are like hearing from me is different. I increased my gain by 5. So it's dramatically louder than whatever Tatum is currently playing and whatever he's hearing. So you know Tatum can't even hear the audio because Tatum is still where the parts already came and went, right? The audio already came and went, but Tatum is still trying to listen, which tells you he can't even hear what he's playing, right? Because the part that he's looking for has already came and went. So he can't even hear what he's playing at all. But he wants you to believe that we the problem and not him. Sir, you are still listening. Watch this. Look, watch this, okay? Look. Now watch this. The parts have already came and went. The part that Tatum's looking for have already came and went. But Tatum is still looking like with this dumb look because he doesn't realize the parts that he's quote unquote looking for has already came and went. So now Tatum,
No, he realized it.
again,
That's
this
why
right
he
here
got that
is the
dumbass look
admission
on
that
his
he
face.
can't even hear the very.
No, he realized it. That's exactly why he got that dumbass look on his face. That's what he waiting. He want to act like he ain't hear that shit. That nigga heard that shit. He doing exactly what he planned on doing, man.
Audio.
You know what he's doing.
If you can't even hear the audio or quote unquote parts you're looking for, then how can you tell us that we're not hearing what we heard? Where we played it enhanced.
All right. Go back to that screen real quick. I want to just look at what they're saying. They're saying cover up. I heard something similar to cover up. And
oh, you heard? Oh, but I thought you said, oh, Tatum, bro, you should be embarrassed with yourself, bro. Nah, say it again, Tatum. You heard what? Come on, tell us.
I want to just
Tatum.
look at what they're saying. They're saying cover up. I heard something similar to, and they probably was saying, can we cover up this hole that's in the boat or whatever that port is? It says you killed him. I didn't hear that. He's already dead. I didn't hear that. Is he dead? I didn't hear that. Nolan yells, or they yell Nolan. I didn't hear that. Nolan, wake up. I didn't hear that. Wake the F up. Now, we heard him cuss and say, shut the F up, right? We didn't hear no wake the F up. Now, why you get that out of this video? Y'all gonna go to hell, you keep playing and lying and putting stuff out there. Come on, play the lady that did the enhancements. I wish she didn't have a UFC shirt on.
Bitch, we already
but that don't mean she worked for the UFC. I hope she don't.
We going to hell for criticizing the white man.
Because this ain't a good look, in my opinion. If she has something to do with that transcript. But let her speak. Roll it.
Okay, so before I
we going there for criticizing the white man.
play this, I want to quickly explain what I did, what you're looking at on the screen, and why I chose to approach this audio the way that I did. As a professional audio engineer with experience in dialogue editing, dialogue cleanup, sound design, and post-production, I decided to work on that CTO call using traditional audio processing techniques rather than relying on any AI voice separation or AI enhancement. My goal was pretty much to preserve as much of the original recording as possible while making the quieter dialogue and background audio easier to hear. So I basically used techniques such as subtractive EQ, compression, gain adjustments, noise frequency, noise reduction, frequency isolation, and other traditional processing methods.
Come on.
So what I did was I separated Vicky, the CTO dispatcher, from Warren and the audio originating from the boat so that I can concentrate more closely on what was happening behind and around Warren, pretty much on the boat. And I specifically chose not to rely on AI because aggressive AI enhancements and voice isolation tools can sometimes introduce artifacts and distort the speech or create ambiguity around the sounds that were originally present. And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up.
So she wrote this stuff on that screen.
No, Tatum, you're so dumb. Tatum, you're so dumb. Tatum, you're so dumb. No, she.
And he ain't even let her finish. He ain't even let her finish explaining what the fuck she was finna say about that shit.
Tatum, do you understand how clipping works? Tatum, no. She released the audio. Somebody took the audio and they transcribed the audio and they reposted. Oh my God. Hey, bro, we are done with Tatum. Okay, let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace. Okay, because Nancy Grace putting belts behind, bro. All right, look.
Yeah, let's go to Auntie.
We done with Tatum, bro. All right, let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace. Okay, all right, let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace. All right, because Nancy Grace putting belts behind. Okay, yeah, she not playing.
Pull that switch out.
She not playing.
Auntie don't have that switch, not no motherfucking belt. I'm tell you.
Playing with them folks, but let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace, man. Because Tatum is doing some bootlicking, bro. Let's get to Nancy Grace, man. Auntie did her thing with this one, bro.
Get off the mic. This time, get up. I can't talk to her like that. Now they try to give me the cake, but baby bro, I'm gonna give you the cake. Because God blessed me. You gave me a lot of cake, so I can give some away. This cake to you, baby bro. Now, that's just the beginning of your present. Now, tomorrow after I fuck this nigga up, that's your real present.
Hey, twin. Yeah. Dre Day, nigga. Yeah, nigga.
This guy slapped his opponent across the face for no reason, not a provocation, not a tactic, but pure contempt and humiliation. What made it worse for the crowd was that once the fight started, he didn't just take control, he completely dominated the ring. With savage combinations, he pushed the opponent named Dean to the brink again and again, nearly finishing the fight.
Can he end it here? This is set up. Oh, short right hand, Brienne. Hey, these both guys. It's a knockdown.
Everyone expected a one-sided slaughter, but Dean showed incredible resilience, taking heavy shots to the head, his steps wobbling, yet never a hint of surrender, never a step back. He chose to stand and endure.
Oh my God! What a battle! I brought my family into it, and you right back!
When the villain realized fists couldn't break Dean, he resorted to dirty elbows, treating the rules as nothing and trampling all decency. But Dean's response made him regret everything he had done in the very next second.
Damn.
This guy slapped his opponent across the face for no reason, not a provocation, not a tactic, but pure contempt and humiliation. What made
surgically broke down why you are a dummy if you don't believe that Nolan Walsh was murdered in cold blood. After all the evidence that have came out, if you still believe that Nolan Walsh accidentally drowned, there's something wrong with you. And I don't know what it is. You got to figure it out. He broke down two crucial pieces of information: the bruise that was found on the back of Nolan Well's head, and then the audio from the boat.
How you feel about this second autopsy that was done on Nolan Wells?
Yes, I think when we last spoke, we were awaiting the forensic autopsy because the original autopsy performed by the county examiner, we just weren't convinced. It would be independent, quite frankly, because we weren't getting enough information from law enforcement. And so the forensic autopsy came back.
Right.
And lo and behold, even though they're trying to downplay it, and I understand Ben Crump and NAACP and others don't want to try and jump to conclusion or step too far out, but the forensic autopsy showed that there was what they call discoloration. No, I call them bruises in the back of the head, appearing that someone has had their hand pressed at the back of their head, at the back of Nolan's head. That's concerning to me.
And what's even more concerning is when the autopsy sent over their notes to the independent autopsy that they took Nolan Well's body to, they had notes. And from these set of notes, they'll figure out which bruises, which cuts was caused by the original autopsy so they know to ignore it. When they checked their notes, the original autopsy failed to reveal there was a bruise at the back of Nolan Well's head. The independent autopsy, they found the bruise and they reported it. But here's the thing though. We still don't have Nolan Well's cause of death yet, because for it to be drowning, the lungs got to be waterlogged. Well, the original autopsy never sent over the lungs. Well, the original autopsy did theirs first. So if you did yours first, wouldn't you have the opportunity to run all the tests and do everything you got to do with the lungs before you sent over the body? Well, they never sent the lungs with the body. So the independent autopsy was unable to determine the cause of death. It was inconclusive.
You've had different stories coming out
Shit ain't
from the
inconclusive.
team.
They did that to make it inconclusive because they knew it didn't show that he drowned. They knew that shit, bro. And they know, fuck it. We just gonna remove that shit and have the shit show as inconclusive. The motherfuckers know that shit gonna show as inconclusive. They do this shit for a living. They've been doing this shit for years, bro. This, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This fucked up. Like, in the movie Life, right? It's really fucked up because the movie Life, Ray and Claude did not kill that white man and they got life for it. The police killed that motherfucker. My thing is, if they could put this on a nigga, they would, but they can't. So they trying to cover it up so they don't have to lose their own to the system. Because that's what they have always done. Man, look.
Teenagers, one of the young men himself spoke out about it, claiming they had begged Nolan to get on the boat, and that he wouldn't. Then there's the woman that he's supposed to have stayed back with. I think her name Katie or something. Well, he was supposed to have stayed back with Katie. That was their story. However, Katie's friend says that Katie hasn't. She saw him only in passing on the island, didn't stay with him, and Katie isn't saying anything at all.
That's an element that I also missed as well regarding the friend. Now, I think the friend he's talking about is Katie's sister. The older sister is kind of downplaying to the extent in which Katie and Nolan Walsh was hanging out. But
because
the Katie portion of this, which we have to cover because
she a white girl, he a nigga that ended up dead. Let's just keep it real. That's why. That's why. And it's Mississippi. Not only is he was a nigga fucking with a white girl, he was a nigga fucking with a white girl that ended up dead in Mississippi.
Because the Katie portion like directly debunks the friend's story, right? They claim that Katie will be their alibi, that Katie saw them leave without Nolan. Katie says, no, I didn't. The last time I seen Nolan was when y'all was calling him over. Right? So we're being put in a position where we got to look at a bruise in the back of his head, and that bruise could be anything, right? That bruise could be something that Nolan Walsh already had. That could have been something where somebody like knocked Nolan Walsh unconscious. Yo, we just seen a video where another man just got arrested for.
And then he could have been hit in the back of the head. And that make more sense. That make more sense, don't it? Motherfuckers getting into it, he get hit in the back of the head with something. They have a fight, he falls, he could have hit his head on something. But even if it was accidental, why wouldn't they just say that? Why would they dump his body? Why would they do their partner like that? You know what I'm saying? Why would you do your friend, somebody you call your friend like that, and then disrespect their family and all that other shit, bro? So I ain't got no motherfucking friends.
For murder, where he knocked out a man and then threw him in the water while the man was unconscious. Was that bruise in the back of Nolan Wall's head a bruise from him being knocked unconscious, then they threw him in the water too? Who knows? But we're being put in a position that I think is very unfair. It's very unfair. Where we're being asked to ignore bruises on the body, autopsies like damn near being sabotaged because the lungs were not sent over and the throat was not sent over. The audio where we're hearing people talk about Nolan being dead. Crazy. The phone being with the friend. We're asked to ignore every red sign there is and be, I guess, as optimistic as you could be in a situation, which is at least he was not murdered. At least he did not die like forcefully, right? But I don't know, bro. I'm not believing it at all. And I think a judge who his literal job was to make decisions for the last, 2 or 3 decades, I think that judge will be able to look at this and make a judgment call that's at least credible, right? Now, if you disagree with the judge, you like disagree. But this nonsense of any skepticism is uncredible, that's out the window.
So it's a lot of moving parts here. And I'm just hoping it's not one of those, quite frankly, and if his friends didn't have anything to do with it and they truly left him behind, et cetera, et cetera. He has discoloration, bruises on the back of his neck. Something happened. And quite frankly, this is Mississippi, where in 1955, which sparked the civil rights movement, Emmett Till was killed for so-called whistling at a white woman. And now we're hearing Nolan Wells stayed back to be with a white woman. And he turns up dead with bruises behind his neck. That's the context I'm putting this in. It's Emmett Till, perhaps, all over.
Wow. So you feel like the dynamics between Nolan Wells and Emmett Till is similar?
Well, the dynamics are the same. He's with a white woman, or allegedly.
I just said this shit, didn't I? I just said this shit. Oh, I was moving too fast. I beat him to the point.
He said something with, or however you view it, with a white woman, and there's a suspicion that white men killed him. And that was the case with Emmett Till. He so-called whistled as a kid. 13 was he? Whistled so-called.
And he was lied on because the bitch was on a deathbed and confessed the line on the motherfucker. Excuse me. Confessed the line on the 13-year-old boy. And then
the woman at the store, white woman says he whistled at her. What happened? White men killed him. And that's why I'm making that analogy. But it could altogether be untrue. But I'm making the analogy as a possibility. And that is the case of my thought processes.
So it was actually bruises behind his neck.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, what else? Why is it only there in the back of your neck, which is coincidentally how you drown somebody? You put the head in the back of the neck and not let them up, and they try and push up, but you got the head down, so the head bruises in the back of the neck because somebody tried to hold it down or did hold it down.
Again, this is why you need a judge. Bro, I'm so like barbaric. I'm going for the knock him out with a club, throw him in the water. But no, the judge is saying, no, you would have bruises in the back of your neck because somebody had their hand on your neck and they pushed you in the water until you drowned. Come on. Come on. Come on. And here's the thing. They will say, what's the proof of this? What's the proof? Y'all just said it without proof. Okay, what is your explanation for everything then? Right? Since us who were not there, we're asked to provide undoubtable proof, even though all we literally have is theories because we were not present, right? So now let me ask you guys, okay, can you guys explain the bruises in the back of his neck? All right, cool. Can y'all explain the audio that y'all called fake until TMZ posted it, even though Chronicle Speaks and other independent creators posted that audio first? Okay, no, you can't explain that? Okay, cool. Can you explain why Warren said that Katie would back up their story, but then Katie said the last time she seen Nolan was when they was calling him over? Can you explain the contradiction between Katie and Warren's story? No? Okay. Well, damn. It looks like y'all don't have an explanation or an answer for none of the things that look bad when it comes to y'all argument, but somehow y'all want us to psychologically break down and show you guys everything. Listen, man, because we weren't there, all we really have is context clues, and we got to piece it together. It's simple as that. But you guys are unwilling to engage with all the evidence that kind of shows this kid was murdered. Simple as that. Now, Judge Mathis also touched on the audio that got released. And here's what he had to say about the audio.
I did not know that existed. And
Right.
if this is authentic,
none of us did.
Radio transmission between the dispatcher and the caller, then certainly this turns it on its head. They're observing him injured, asking if he's dead. Whoever on that call, with the technology we have now and with interviews amongst the folks who were there, or the phone that the emergency call came from, the dispatcher has that number. Someone can get it. Then you'll go to the person who made the call and say, what did you see? This is real easy if that is the case. So we'll see what they do with this evidence. The fact that there's some audio from the dispatcher where the person calling asks, or in the background, one or the other, asks, oh my God, is he dead? So that's a whole new level of evidence that I'm interested in seeing where they go with that.
That's what,
and perhaps that's what the prosecutor may have all of this information and say, we're not sharing it because we don't want to bias, we don't want to create bias, and et cetera, in the case, because in the media, and she may have that. She may have that and take it right to the grand jury. That's what I'm hoping, if they don't disclose it to the widespread media this week.
Here's why I don't believe that. Now, it's one thing if you say, hey, we're not going to share the thorough investigation we're doing that's going to bring answers to Nolan Wells' death. We're not going to share that with the public, but you're not going to share that with Nolan's mama? You're not going to share that with, I don't care if they have hired like Benjamin Crumb. I don't care if they have hired other people to get involved. You should walk the mama through it step by step. Hey, mama, we got this intel, this intel. It's not until the audio got leaked and people began to put pressure on Ocean Springs that they released a tip to TMZ like, hey, we have evidence that people seen Nolan on the island in the afternoon after 5, or I think 6 p.m. they said. So TMZ reported, there's evidence Nolan was on the island at 6. And then you scroll down to the bottom of the article and the evidence is, oh yeah, there's 2 people said they see Nolan. Okay, well, we have Nolan friends who are doing interviews on TikTok, right, saying how they believe these people are guilty and they believe people was washing blood off the boat or out the boat, according to the friend, or she implied that, I should say, because she says they was washing out the boat, right? One of the friends says they seen some of the boys and at a breakfast, and the boys told her, well, why would we be looking for him? Y'all already expect us to kill him.
Did it.
That's before Nolan Wells' body was found. That's before the world knew he was dead, right? So if we can take the word of 2 people who quote unquote seen Nolan, even though again 2,000 people was on the island, y'all said 2 people quote unquote seen Nolan at around 6 p.m. Okay, then how did Nolan Wells disappear? Then how did he die? Okay, if y'all can take the words of those 2 people, then can we take the word of 2 of Nolan's friends who are on TikTok accusing people in Ocean Springs of killing Nolan? Can we? Oh, yeah. So it's evidence if it's 2 random people, but it's not evidence if it's 2 of Nolan's friends. You see how that works? You see how that don't make sense? And that's what we're talking about here, bro. Nothing about this makes sense whatsoever. If you guys have something, right, that paints a clear picture of how Nolan Wells died, shouldn't the mother be the first one y'all notify?
Facts.
Yeah, I don't know how you can justify that audio.
Can't. Not with someone in the background saying, is he dead? Even if you were calling to say there was a fight, it sounds like you're looking at something that has already happened and you witnessed what happened and you're saying, did he die from what I just saw? That's what you're saying. Oh, is he dead? Or what? Somebody walked you from around the park and said, hey, or around the other boat dock and say, hey, come look at this. No, you were there. So if that video and audio is correct, it's a whole nother level of evidence that indicates culpability.
And just for clarity, what do you personally believe happened to Nolan Wills?
Well, what we're told is that he got on the boat with several white buddies in Mississippi, went to Fun Island, for lack of a better term, where everybody goes to this island to have fun on their boats. Overwhelmingly 90 to 100% white, 99.9 perhaps if you include Nolan. And his buddies say they left him there. He ends up dead. His buddies say we left him there and we told him to come, let's go. He refused to go. However, we had his phone.
They left him all right.
And you claim that everybody puts their phone away when they're on the island. And I don't believe that for 1 minute, that teenagers leave their phones for hours just because they're on the island. Then we have the young lady, Katie, who he allegedly stayed back to be with. Her sister says that they weren't spending a lot of time with Nolan and that they also left without Nolan, meaning they had seen Nolan go somewhere when they were leaving. Did he y'all just shake, hug, and walk away? And then someone saw him and said, hey, let's get with him because he kissing and hugging on that white woman and we don't play that and don't want to play that? Or is it, as I think it is, that they had something to do with his drowning?
Which, by the way, will make sense with the bruises in the back of the head, because it could be this. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think?
That's
okay?
a theory, but I don't think it was no drowning.
Yo, he just provided something very crucial, because even if the lungs do come back waterlogged, it could very well be that. You push them in, and you hold them down until... Yo, this is just crucial, bro. This is terrible. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, man. Yo, pray for the family, bro. If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video somewhere on my screen.
Nigga got caught scamming in 4K. What? Jay-Z scamming, nigga?
A man named Eric Jackson just exposed Jay-Z in 4K for scamming a bunch of artists. Do y'all remember this day right here when Jay-Z convinced a bunch of big artists like J. Cole, Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, Rihanna, and others to turn down exclusive streaming deals from other streaming platforms that would have paid them tens of millions of dollars to sign exclusive deals with Tidal that will pay them nothing, but they will have equity in Tidal. Y'all remember this day? Well, apparently this day was a huge scam because these artists ain't benefit a dime.
Everyone remembers the headline. Jack Dorsey bought Jay-Z's Tidal for $297 million. Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye, Nicki, all co-owners, all getting paid. And here's what the SEC filing says the buyer actually paid: $233 million for 86.8% of the company, which means the whole thing, the platform 16 Superstars stood on stage to launch, was actually worth $269 million that day, which was less than half of what it was worth 4 years before. Nicki Minaj says she was offered $1 million to go away. Steve Stout said she left millions on the table because she never signed her paperwork. And for 10 years, everyone has been arguing about who got scammed and who's been doing it without, they've been doing this without opening one set of documents that would show the actual results, the filings. So this story is actually stranger than anything you've already heard about it. And I went and read the filings.
You know what's super shady in how they dealt with Nicki Minaj? they knew all along. So they told Nicki Minaj because again, all the other artists, they have taken a L. They're not pushing the issue because they still, for the most part, got respect or they are scared of Jay-Z, so they're not really pushing the issue. Nicki Minaj has been pushing the issue. Nicki Minaj has been on Twitter, has been online calling out Jay-Z and Tidal and Roc Nation for scamming her for years, right? So other artists, they got finagled. Kanye West actually left Tidal early because Tidal owed him money and he said he was never going to get the money, so he just left. But if they knew Nicki Minaj never signed the paperwork, because Nicki Minaj thought she signed it. She thought what she signed on stage was the paperwork, but apparently, no, it wasn't, right? It was a sleight of hand. What they signed on stage was apparently like a declaration of they were going to sign. So if they knew that Nicki Minaj never signed and a quote-unquote deal was never solidified, then why did they continue to receive all the exclusives that Nicki Minaj gave them? That's the snake part. If they knew Nicki Minaj never quote-unquote signed, Nicki Minaj still honored her end of the agreement and still gave them the exclusive albums as if she did sign. And they ain't turn it down. They ain't say, hold on, Nicki, you never signed this contract, so we can't get the exclusivity from your album. No, they still took the exclusivity. Like Nicki Minaj still brought her audience over the Tidal. And that's where it's shady. And that's where it's kind of scummy. Because if you're saying the deal is not solidified, we don't owe you nothing, then you should have told her, hey, you didn't sign, Nicki. We can't take the exclusivity. But they still took it. They still took her audience. And they still benefited from it. While at the same time preparing for a day like this, when the bill was going to be due to eventually pay Nicki Minaj, they could always say, no, sorry, you didn't sign. This is sketchy.
This is day 341. There were 3 SEC filings, 1 federal court motion, and the principal's own posts. And everything that I'm about to talk about on this video is all public record knowledge. March 30th, 2015, famous stage. There were 16 artists standing shoulder to shoulder as owners. Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye, Madonna, Nicki, J. Cole, Jack White, Daft Punk, the list goes on. The reporting that week, and it traces back to one Billboard story, said that each act was gifted about 3% of Tidal in exchange for pledging exclusive content. Now look at the sourcing there. One outlet, launch week, unnamed sources, no principal, no document has ever confirmed that there was 3% given to the artists. The thing that they signed on stage, which has been published, is a declaration. And I've read it. It's a manifesto, not an equity contract. Whatever equity paper existed behind it has never been public. So there were 10 years of arguments, and the foundational document of the argument has never been seen. Then in 2017, January of 2017, Sprint bought 33% of Tidal for $200 million. That's a real reported transaction, and it did 2 things. It priced the whole company around $600 million, which was the high watermark for it, and it diluted everybody. So if you had a 3% stake, if it existed as reported, it became roughly 2% after that investment. Nobody renegotiated the legend, though. The legend stayed that, quote, the artists own 3%. Now the part that you came for, in March of 2021, Square, which is Jack Dorsey's company, it's now called Block. It announced it was buying the majority of Tidal, and the press release said for $297 million. Every headline said that. Some said $302 million. And then a year later, Block filed this annual report with the SEC, which is the 10K, and the accountants don't do vibes. The filed number was $233.2 million for 86.8% of the company.
This is a bunch of like financial nerd stuff, but what we're about to learn is the way Jay-Z structured the deal. The way they structured this deal only benefited Jay-Z and not the artist. It only benefited Jay-Z. Not only did Jay-Z get paid, but Jay-Z also got a seat on like $1 billion company. But every other artist benefited zero, benefited nothing. Because essentially Jay-Z took the power away from him in a way he structured his deal.
Damn.
223 million in cash, 10 million.
Finesse. That nigga finesse Rihanna, Kanye, Nicki Minaj. So many other people, bro. How many people? Oh my God. Just them 3 alone. That's why Drake said, fuck that nigga, and didn't do it.
Million stock.
Bitch, I ain't going for that.
It implies the rough value for a Tidal was 269 million at the time, not 600 million. It quietly tells you that Tidal's value fell by more than half between 2017 and 2021, while the public story characterized it as a victory lap for Jay-Z. And one more thing that the filing says, and it kills a whole branch of the meme tree, the artists were not bought out. The press release says it plainly. All of Tidal's artist shareholders continue as co-owners, and the 10K carries them as minority interests, unnamed, aggregated, with exactly one artist who's named anywhere in the filings, Sean Carter, elected to Square's board in May of 2021. A seat on the board of a payments company worth tens of billions given to a man with no conventional payments background, no fintech background. So read that for what it is. Part of what the deal delivered was the Carter name. Everyone else is a line item called, quote, non-controlling interests sitting behind an option, Block's option, not theirs, to be bought out at fair value someday. So read that structure for what it is. They can't force a sale. They can't force a price, and they just have to wait. So now you go back to that stage. The word that day that they talked about was ownership. Artists finally owning the thing that they built instead of renting it from labels. So put the two documents side by side, and what they announced in 2015 and what the filing says they got. 16 owners became 1 board member and 15 line items. I'm not going to tell you what anyone intended, but I am going to tell you that the ownership that they announced that day and the ownership the SEC filing describes are not the same kind of ownership.
How many more times do Jay-Z got to do something like this before we say, yeah, let's stop trusting Jay-Z, bro? Let's stop putting Jay-Z as the leader of whatever cultural revolution.
What? You niggas still out here trusting niggas? Especially rap niggas? Yeah, alright. Yeah, alright. Tupac told y'all niggas about Jay-Z way in the beginning.
Solution we want to start. Okay, see, it was a good idea. A streaming platform for artists, by artists, for the culture, by the culture. But you put Jay-Z at the front, at the mantle of any cultural movement, he's gonna find a way to sell it out to benefit himself. Straight up. Colin Kaepernick had the boycott solid and handled. Jay-Z stepped in, sold it out for himself. As simple as that, bro. Y'all can't trust Jay-Z. Now, and the shameful part about this too, bro. Yo, Drake got like a...
You can't trust no motherfucking body.
A $25 million deal with Apple Music for one album, just one album. These artists turn down stupid money. They turn down stupid money. Money to most people is generational wealth.
Dummy.
Nick Minaj could have gotten 20 million. J. Cole could have gotten 20 million.
Dummy.
Yo, if Frank Ocean got 20 million, if Chance the Rapper got $15 million, can you imagine how much money like Nicki Minaj and J. Cole and Rihanna and Kanye could have gotten?
120.
But they played the long game because they trusted Jay-Z, and Jay-Z betrayed their trust. This is some nasty stuff, bro. Now, I know a lot of you guys will make excuses for Jay-Z because it's Jay-Z, but how can anybody support this?
The revolution was real on the stage. It just wasn't in the actual paperwork that came later when the deal was done. And what has fair value done since? Block's own filings answer that too. In late 2023, Block wrote down 132.3 million of title goodwill. In late 24, another 73.5 million was written down. That's roughly 206 million in value impaired, according to the company's own accounts, in 2 years. So the remaining artist stakes are minority positions without exit rights in an asset that their majority owner has been writing down. Now, the claim from my comments, quote, the artist equity was recoupable. Jay-Z could claw it back. It was really an advance against their catalogs, end quote. I went looking for the source of that quote, and there is none that I could find anyway. No filing, no reporting. Nothing credible describes owner equity as recoupable. And the SEC accounting treats the stakes as real equity, which cuts directly against it. But here's the interesting part. The myth has a real ancestor. There was a documented recoupable advance in the title story. It was Prince's catalog deal, a distribution agreement that ran until the advance recouped. It was a standard structure negotiated by Prince himself, who chose title loudly and publicly while he was still alive. After his death, his estate and title ended up in federal court, and the estate's lawyers wrote a sentence that you rarely see in a filing. They alleged that the equity term sheet title produced was, quote, fabricated and backdated to appear authentic. Title denied it. The case settled in 2018, approved by the probate court, and the fabrication claim was never proven or disproven. So I'm not going to tell you who was right. I'm telling you that there was one documented recoupable advance belonging to the Prince's deal, and a never adjudicated fight over Prince's equity is how, quote, recoupable leaked into the folklore about everyone else's. And notice who was not on the stage at all, Drake, the defining artist of the streaming decade, biggest artist at the time. And by reports, he was supposed to be up there with them on that stage with the other title artists. He wasn't not. And a few months later, he went the other way entirely, an exclusive deal with Apple Music put together by an executive named Larry Jackson.
I'm old enough to remember when y'all called Drake a sellout, where people was disparaging Drake for choosing himself over the quote-unquote culture. Because if Drake would have signed up with title, if Drake would have gave title exclusives for albums like Nothing Was the Same, for views, bro, Tidal's evaluation would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x. And people thought, right, that Drake left a lot of money on the table because of his value. If he would have brought that and took equity, he would have been up. But here's the thing, right? Nobody has gotten paid yet. Like a dime, a dollar, right? Not a freaking dime, right? And for the people who gave exclusives, Tidal's now saying, hey, you inside the contract. You don't, bro, these folks, man, these folks nasty, bro. Kanye West even walked away from Tidal because Tidal owed him $3 million and they didn't pay it. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, bro. Yo, Jay-Z should be embarrassed, man. If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen. Just here, or here somewhere on my screen to find out.
We finna wrap this up, man. That shit fucked up, though, dog. All this shit is just a fucked up world, man. It's so hard to try to stay positive, right? With all this negative bullshit. The best way to stay positive is to unplug from this shit. That's the best way to stay positive, man. Create a positive impact day and later, man. It's like, I'm talking about you got to unplug from everything. Shit, man. And just that thought alone is negative in itself. I guess probably how I thought about it when I said it. But all this shit temporary, man. What's the meaning of all this shit anyway, right? People divided by their point of views that they was taught as motherfucking babies and brainwashed and all this other shit. And everybody distracted, not even realizing what's really fucking finna happen. Like everybody distracted. Nobody really is paying attention to the shit these people really trying to do to all of us. Not black, not white, not brown, not green, not purple, bitch, not orange, bitch, all of us. They finna do some fuck shit to all of us. We just like the first couple ones that it's gonna happen to. It's been happening to us. We just been surviving this shit, right? So we make it look like ain't shit even happening to us. That's the power and the essence of a nigga. You will never even know, bro. And some niggas wouldn't even believe you if you told them. Like, damn, bro, you been doing all that. You still be riding her goddamn showing love and doing all this other shit that I wouldn't be doing. If that was me, of course, nigga. Of course you wouldn't be able to do it. Of course you wouldn't be able to do it like me, nigga, because you ain't me, nigga. Can't walk in my shoes, bro. Niggas would have killed themselves 10 times, man. They would have killed themselves 10 times, man, in my shoes, bro. Ask me how I know it. Nigga. Niggas out here killing themselves. They was in my shoes. You know, you hear about shit happening to people and they taking themselves out. You be like, damn. Like, I know he was going through some shit, but what was he going through? And then like a story come out, like the true story, or alleged true story of why they did this shit. And you be like, damn, that's it. That's all he was going through. He must ain't have no real homeboys around him to talk to. He must ain't have no real people around him to talk to, like, cause to hang with or something, cause I don't know, man. Especially like, I don't give a fuck. It really ain't no reason to ever do none of that bullshit. Like, I could understand that shit. People be really out here getting up out the way, man. Breaking their family hearts and shit. People really be doing that shit, dog. And they blame that shit on mental health and a lot of different shit, right? They like to blame that shit on mental health. They say your mental health, right? It's the mental health of a person or why they would do something like that. But in all actuality, every soul on this planet, in this realm, didn't ask to be here, bro. Not one person, not one soul. Well, there probably was a couple souls, but not one individual, human being walking this earth, bro, asked to be here, nigga. Nobody asked to be here. Everybody out this bitch did not ask to be here, bro. We just won. Everybody that's in this bitch, we are the winners. We didn't ask to be here, bitch. We just won. And some people tied. Some people they tied with somebody, and that's why they got twins. Cause now they're both winners. You feel me? So just look at it like that, man. You didn't ask to be here, but you're here because you're a winner. Just remember that shit, bro. You a fucking winner, bro. That's the only reason you out this bitch. That's the only reason you here. You a fucking winner, nigga. You didn't ask to be here, bro. But you a fucking winner, man. Don't forget that. When you get down on yourself, dog, remember that shit. You a fucking winner, nigga. You only here because you won. That's it. That's all, man. That's all, bro. You only here because you motherfucking won, my nigga. It was a race between you and probably 100,000 niggas. Some of it might have even been a million of them little niggas. And think about that shit. If it was you out of 500,000 to 1 million motherfuckers racing to get to this motherfucker. You a winner, nigga. Even the motherfuckers that make it though, you gotta think. Nowadays, there's some winners out here that never made it. It's a lot of winners out here that never made it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, on some real shit, bro. It's a lot of winners that never made it, bro. There's so many winners that never made it, bro. Yeah, it'd be like that. But that's my capital. Positive message of the day. Creating a positive impact today and later, man. Whatever you do with capital. And remember, you a winner, man. You ain't asked to be here, bro. But you only in this bitch because you a motherfucking winner, nigga. Keep winning, nigga. You win the game now. Just try to beat the game. Just try to beat the game, boy. You can't quit, boy. You can't quit, boy. Because when you restart this bitch, it's a whole different origin story waiting for you. You can't escape this shit, nigga. You can't escape it, bro. So just try to beat the game. And don't log out this bitch, man. Do not log yourself out, bro. Ain't no reason to log yourself out, my nigga. And yeah, shit. I'm done rolling my blunt. This is the lit house. Keep the light within you shining bright, you feel me? Fuck that shade, get paid, and that's every single motherfucking day. This is Home Meat TV. Hustlers on a mission every day, man. Everyday hustle. Come on the way. We in production, baby. And shit, man. This has been another RNR moment. A real nigga reaction. Get you some rest and relaxation next time. And remember, real niggas do what they want to do. Bitch niggas do what they can. Hoe ass niggas gonna talk about it. And fuck niggas gonna hate. Regardless. I promise you that. So do your shit to the motherfucking fullest, nigga. I see y'all motherfuckers.
I'm a hustler on a mission, grinding for that spot of brand.